record to
Okay.
this club. Okay. So I will make it bigger. Three, two, one, start. Okay, Andres, I have a question for you. How do you balance your work and personal life, especially when things get really busy? How do you balance your work and personal life?
Mm, well, I try to dedicate my time my when I stay in my home. I try to dedicate all the time with my family
You dedicate all
because
your time with your family.
yeah, because I work for 8 hours.
You work for 8 hours.
Yeah, so it's a long time all the day.
It's okay. You are very busy all the day, or you say you're busy all day. So now focus on this part. I want you to use the phrasal verb juggle. Juggle. Do you remember juggle?
Uh,
Hacer
yeah.
malabares. O sea,
Mm,
juggle es hacer malabares con cualquier cosa. Tengo dos pelotas, ahí juggle. Pero también juggle con el tiempo o con cosas significa que tú haces malabares con ello, es decir, te las arreglas como sea. Eso es juggle. Por ejemplo, te digo que I am currently juggling multiple projects at work, but I make sure to take breaks to avoid burnout. Juggle. Do you remember this verb?
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. How about it?
Sí.
Yep.
Now, okay, and now how do you manage your time? I mean, how do you balance your work and personal life, especially when things get really busy? So you juggle your projects, your job, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and what about burnout? How do you avoid burnout?
Burnout. Um, I say the meaning is quemado, o sea,
Now, burnout is, for example, when you have this burnout means that you are really, really tired because
yeah.
of your job, because of debido a your
Yes.
job, debido a tu trabajo, you are really, really tired. You can even think about anything.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And how do you avoid burnout? How do you avoid burnout?
Mm, I separate the things when I work and when I stay my family.
And when you stay with your family, when you are with your family,
Yeah, we
when you
are.
are
Yeah.
with your family,
Um, yeah, because of um, avoid to burn out. Um, mm, a lot of yeah,
Mm.
yeah, because when I work, I I use um, all my skills, um, and this what the meaning? What is how do you say debido a I are
because of,
because of
because of,
because of um, burn out my mind.
you burn out your mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so you when you burn out is that you are extremely tired. Extremely tired. Okay? Yes, it is important that you know how to communicate these ideas. I will change the questions because I want to make it even more difficult for you. I want to focus this in your job, so hold on a second. Wait a minute. Yeah, this is for you. This is for you. This is for you. This is for you. Okay, graphic design. So I have a question for you on this. How do you start video projects in Adobe Premiere? How do you start a project in Adobe Premiere? How do you start?
Um, the first step, uh, I import the document or the data uh,
Mhm.
in the program, in the software.
Okay.
Previously, I select the the good video, the good videos.
Mhm.
Mm, uh,
You select the good videos. Okay. You select the good videos, and then what do you do? Okay, you import the data. Okay, then you select the good videos, and then what do you do?
um, Importing the software. Uh, well, I have an idea this project. For
Mhm.
example, um, if 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 wedding video or or working video depends of the idea.
It depends on the idea. Okay. Check my answer. Check my answer. Please read this. Read this.
First, I import all the media files, then I create the sequence based on the project's requirements.
First, you import. That's amazing, Andres. You use the verb import. You import all the media files. All the media files, I mean, your videos, your data. Then you create a sequence based on the project requirements. You create a sequence. Okay. For example, when you create a sequence, how much time does it take?
Um, Not much really.
How
Um,
much time does it take?
mm, I think it's take me around to a few minutes really.
Just a few minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, I say I create when I create the sequence.
You create
Yeah,
the sequence, but you have an
yeah,
idea before you start the project.
yeah, of course.
Okay, you have an idea. Okay. Okay, now let's part next. It says, I am responsible for organizing all assets in the right folders to ensure everything is easy to find. What is
Yeah.
responsible for?
Um,
¿Eres responsable por o responsable de? Remember, Andres, when you are using responsible for, the next verb is with
ANG.
ing, is with ing. Okay? And I really like the expression, well, the word assets. The assets. The assets are all, maybe all the media that you use in your project. Images, can be logos, can be videos. These are cool assets.
Okay.
Okay? So you're responsible for organizing all assets in the right folder to ensure is everything is easy to find. So It's important that you know how to organize your project. And this ways you can find all the assets that
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
working. So it's gonna be pretty easy for you so you can keep on working in your project. Did you
yeah.
understand?
It's really important that this.
It's really important. So do you organize in folders, right?
Right, right.
You never say carpets. Carpets is not the correct answer. You say folder.
Folder.
Carpet means um alfombra. Okay.
Okay.
Do you use a program maybe when you want to organize your folders, or you just create the folder and then you add the files?
Yeah, I just create the folder in the computer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And no more?
no, no more because when I work with Premiere,
Uh-huh, with Adobe
um,
Premiere.
yeah, the preference is correct.
Your settings, la configuración.
Um, I put automatically. Say,
The default setting. You use default
yeah,
settings.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I,
utilizas la configuración por defecto. I use the default setting,
no,
so
no, no. I modify.
you
Uh,
modify.
yeah, for automatically save.
Okay, for automatically save the project every time, like maybe for
Yeah.
it takes time or it takes like what? Every change?
No, only only this.
Ah, explanation, please. Remember, Andres, import is to describe the process of bringing in media file and creating, describe, making a new sequence. Be responsible for this phrase indicates what you take care of in the process. For example, in your job, Andres, you are responsible for what, Andres? In your job, you are responsible for what?
Mm, I'm responsible for for making
For
um
making
yeah for making creative ideas or
work, okay. No, for making, okay, creative ideas. Yes. Okay. Ah, you do that. This is just
but
your only process?
yeah um all these ideas uh, of Bossed in
Okay.
previously previously brief. So I make this brief for the campaign.
Okay, you are responsible for creating or making the brief for the campaign.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
you are responsible. You are responsible for that. Next, what do you do if a client wants changes after the final render? What do you do if a client, okay, you finish a project, I mean a video or a graphic design. So I say, hey, I want to change this. So what do you do? Because this is
Um,
after the final render.
yeah, it happens.
It happens to you all the time.
Not all the time, but sometimes.
Okay.
This in this case, uh, I say the clients pay more because because
You say the client pay more now. You ask the
you are
client to pay more. You ask the client to pay more.
yeah. I ask the pay
No, you
the
ask,
client pay
tú le
more.
pides, ¿a quién le pides? Al client, ¿qué le pides? Que tiene que pagar más. You ask the client to pay more.
Yeah, because I sent uh, the project previously in the low quality.
Okay, in low quality.
Mm,
Okay, I don't know sure, but sometimes when you say maybe a graphic design, you say something like Low. It is low quality. Low fidelity. Fidelity. Hablamos de fidelidad, okay? High fidelity, low fidelity. So you're saying low fidelity
Yeah.
or low quality? Both are correct. Both are correct. Ah,
Oh.
okay, and then.
And then the client review the project.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, in this case, the client um, is told me the change
Okay.
after before, sorry, change before the final render.
Okay, so before the final render, the client maybe check the project in low quality and he or she says maybe the changes.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Now look at this part. If a client asks for, ¿qué significaba ask for?
Um,
Pedir,
pedir or yeah.
pedir. If a client asks for changes, I open the project again in After Effects and adjust, mira, ajustar, and
Yeah.
adjust the layers as needed. Okay? And remember that this answer is just like a general answer. It's not like, okay, well, before I adjust the layers or before I change something, I ask the client to pay more. This is obvious. This is just an answer where you can see or in which you can see the words. Okay? Now look at this. I always keep a project file backup, so I am ready to make quick edits. But Andres, I guess when you say that you ask the client to pay more, this is when you work as a freelancer.
Yeah.
But what happens? I know that you're working for a company, you're working for an institution. Imagine that you are maybe you mentioned that you are in charge of creating ideas, creative ideas for the campaign. But in this place, you don't like edit videos or create projects on Adobe Premiere or After Effects or something like that.
No, I make the videos in my actual job.
Okay,
Um,
imagine that I am the person in charge of the group of people working here. So I say, Andres, I want to change this part because it's not appropriate or I don't really like. So what do you do?
um,
You do it?
I do it, but um,
It's not possible.
I never render the project, the final project. I'm
You wait for maybe the final
yeah.
what?
Um, how do you say mostrar?
You show.
I I show the project in the software. So my boss
Uh-huh.
check the project in the software, so I can render
Okay,
the
so
project.
and your job is different. The situation is
It's
different
more easy.
because,
Yeah,
tell me,
it's more easy.
it's more easy. No, it's easier,
Easier.
easier. It's easier because the final render, you say, hey, can you check the project before I render? Can you check the project before I render? And if I say, Andres, I don't like this, adjust this part, you do it, right? You do it.
Right.
You do it. When you have here a file backup, it means that you save the project all the time. You have a project file backup, un
Yeah.
respaldo, un archivo de respaldo. So I am ready to make quick edits. Mira, make edits, make quick edits. Puedes hacer ediciones rápidas.
Very quick.
How do you use Adobe After Effects to add visual effects to a video? How do you use to add
Um,
visual effects to a video? How do you use it?
um, well, I work with this software all almost all my time. Is correct?
Almost
Uh,
all your time.
yeah. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, this software is es- uh, especially um, in the visual effect. For example, um, animate logos, animate text, animate images.
Images. Okay. You animate
Right.
images, you animate text. Okay, so
Or
you use After Effects, for example, when you want to animate images, when you want to animate logos, when you want to animate maybe text in the video.
yeah,
Okay, that's great. That's great. I use keyframes to animate elements like text and graphics. So when you want to say, maybe for example, you don't want to say text or images or logos. There is a word, Andres, assets.
that's it.
Assets. So,
Okay,
okay, can you share the assets? When you say assets, it means can you share the images? Can you share the logo? Can you share the font family? Can you share, everything related to the project, especially images or media? Okay. And it
great.
says you use keyframes to animate elements like text and graphics.
Yeah.
For visual effects, I am adding layers and mask to achieve a dynamic look. Le agregamos capas,
Yeah, yeah.
okay? And adding layers and masks to achieve a dynamic look. Para tener un look más dinámico. So, for example, in your projects, what do you usually add?
Um, uh, um, Often I I use transitions
You use
or
transitions,
yeah,
okay?
yeah. I use when I'm making toma. How do you say toma? O sea,
Un
escena,
shot,
escena is shot.
una escena es un scene,
Scene.
pero una toma es un shot.
Yeah, no, no, es una escena más
Ah,
bien.
un scene, ajá, un scene, entonces.
Un scene. Yeah, when I edit and scene,
Cuando tú
um,
editas una escena, okay, when you did a scene.
I need to pass to next scene. So I use the transition.
Okay. You add transitions when you want to change the scene from one scene
Yeah.
to another, and then you use maybe what do you use? Just a transition.
Uh, yeah, maybe I use the assets,
Hmm.
uh, uh, preferably transitions in colors. So,
Transitioning
for example,
colors.
for example, how do you say cortina? Or
Cortina, curtain, curtain.
okay. For example, is it's same to curtain?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay. Yes, I see your point. Are these as spots? I mean, maybe for the like when you see an advertisement on TV or
yeah.
when you say that you create a video and then you have curtains, what do you mean?
Um, it's a transition or layers too.
Okay, it's just a transition. It is just a
Mhm.
transition. Okay,
Yeah,
let's continue. And Andres, you know that you are a person who is an expert in the field. You have like maybe many years of experience, right? You have many years of experience working in different projects, in different maybe as a freelancer for different clients. And in your job, do you work maybe with junior designers or it is just senior designers? You are a senior designer, but Maybe do you work with junior designers?
Not really. Um, no, no.
Okay, you
But
just work with people like you.
yeah,
Ah,
but
okay.
if
Okay, I
I,
see your point.
yeah, yeah. If I work with junior design, the first step I show the software, the panel, the
Mm-hmm.
items, the buttons. All I need the guide to junior design.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I see your point. Look at this. I show them how to set up our boards.
Ah, yeah.
How to
Será,
set up. ¿Qué cosa es el set up?
em, como the working space.
Yes, exactly. You set up. You set up. You set up. Next, let's continue and explain the best practices for exporting files. The best practices. Las mejores prácticas se le conoce como best practices. Can you tell me one good practice in your field?
Um, well, I good practice. Um, uh, well, I say the organizes the files.
Mhm.
Um, for example, if I use different assets for images or of fonts,
Or
uh,
phones.
yeah, I group all the assets in
You group the assets
in the same folder.
in the same
But
folder, but
no, but when I send the file to the clients found in this folder all the items.
all the assets. Ah, okay, so when you organize maybe the project, you send a file with different folders, and
Yeah,
here you can find all the assets for the client.
yeah. In how do you say incluso?
Incluso,
Yeah, incluso.
even if, incluso sí, or even.
Even
Even incluso, even if, incluso sí.
even if the client found one file, the how do you say?
What do you want to say?
Try to say un documento con toda la información en un texto.
A document
Un-
with all the information.
With the, all the information. Yeah, with all the information. Un
Okay.
document with all the information. In this the information is colors, named fonts, um, the codes, the colors obviously.
Mhm.
All the information, the document.
It is similar to like a brand book
Yeah, similar.
or like a manual for the client where in this manual in this document they can find maybe the color and maybe the
Yeah.
type of font, maybe the vision, maybe the mission or something like that.
No, 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 it's a brand.
Okay. It's
It's
just a
only
document with information that you include in the assets.
yeah.
And why do you send this document? Why do you send this document?
Um, well, I try to send all the times
Mhm.
because, for example, the client maybe tell me or ask me, sorry, ask me, um, it need he in it need the file, the edit file, sorry. So I sent all the items, all the assets, um, but a ver, para que yo no lo pueda editar, eso I try to say.
Okay, okay. In order to
Order
avoid
to,
editing. In
yeah,
order, con la finalidad de evitar la edición. In order to avoid editing.
yeah, in
Ah,
order to
okay.
avoid
You send a
the,
file, so when the client open the file, they can see, but they can edit.
yeah, only if I client asks me that.
Ah, okay. If the client, sometimes they say, "Can you send the project?" But they didn't pay, right? And
Yeah,
they feel like I can edit the project later, so I can use it even if I don't pay. I see your point. This is a good practice, to be honest. This is a good practice. You avoid maybe a scam, you avoid blackmail, you
yeah.
avoid whatever. Okay, that's good. That's good. And also, I have a question for you. In your job, you are responsible for what? You are working in this area, what and or where you what do you do in this area when you are responsible
Um, I am responsible
for?
for for uh, taking all the course is correct. Taking all the course. All
Taking all the course, tomar todos los cursos,
no course no medidas
measures.
measures. Taking all the measures um, in order to
Ok, one second. Cuando tú me dices tomar todas las medidas, yo entiendo que agarras una cinta y mides algo,
no
calculas.
no it's
O
not
como
measure.
medidas para prevenir tal cosa.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, ya, ese es implement measures.
Implement measure.
Implement measures. Okay. Implement measures. So in your job, you are responsible for implementing measures,
Measures.
implementar medidas o tomar medidas in order
Yeah,
to
in order
what?
to um, avoid
Avoid.
to no a ver,
Can you
avoid
repeat?
avoid to work. Avoid to work. Um,
Avoid working, evitar trabajar.
I try to say con la misma línea gráfica, in this case, the client.
Okay. Okay. Give me example. Give me example.
Um, for example, is the clients have a, a business or pets. Hola. For example, the client have a pet company or I don't know
Mhm.
or whatever business.
Yep.
The client have a graphic line and then
Okay. Yes. Uh-huh. They have a
need
graphic line. Yeah, that's true.
yeah yeah. So my responsible in this case is work with this guideline. It's the
Graphic line.
same, yeah, graphic line.
This is your job. So you try to maybe sometimes you change and sometimes you modify it, right?
S-
Or not?
eh, See, yeah, sometimes, but
Sometimes.
it's not recommendable because the customer
Uh-huh.
is, how do you say, acostumbrado?
Okay, he is used to. Él está acostumbrado. He is used to.
He is
¿Él
just
a qué está acostumbrado? He is used to.
he is used to see this graphic line.
Ok, recuerda que estar acostumbrado es he is used to. Ahora el verbo tiene que estar con ing. He is used to
Ah,
seeing the graphic line. Por ejemplo, estoy acostumbrado a dormir tarde. I am used to sleeping late. Estoy acostumbrado a tomar desayuno a las 10 de la mañana. I am used to having breakfast at 10 a.m. Okay,
yeah.
nice. I see your point. And this is my last question before we go to the graphic line, because we are going to work in graphic line. So, how do you collaborate with other designers when working on a big project? Because I have this question for you that you are responsible for sometimes adjusting the graphic line, but do you work with other designers, or you are just the person in charge of editing the video or working with the graphic line?
Yeah, I work with this, collaborate on
You collaborate with other designers.
other designers.
And
Um,
how do you collaborate with them? I mean, what program do you use, and how you maybe break down the project into different parts, or you just supervise or monitor? How do you collaborate with other designers?
um, well, it's very important. Um, we meet,
You meet
we meet
online
with
or face
this.
to face?
Online is perfect.
Online.
Yeah, with these designers, um, because the first homework for say uh, is make to mood board. Mood board
Okay,
is
okay, yeah, I know. Okay, the first activity, or I don't know if this is on a sprint. I mean, and a sprint is like when you have 1 week, one
yeah.
week to create a mood board. Something, is it a sprint or is just an activity?
No, it's a
Has to be.
sprint.
Okay, it's a sprint. Okay, in the first sprint, what do you have to do? In the first sprint, what do you have to do? A mood board.
We create a mood board.
Okay, but and how do you create a mood board? Because you need to talk to the client, I guess.
Um, well, this mood board we take around 2 days.
It takes today.
Today,
And
yeah,
and
no more.
and how do you get the information for the mood board?
This information, well, first we search online,
Hmm.
whatever, ideas in
Okay.
Pinterest or
Is that similar to benchmarking? Okay,
yeah,
you
similar.
benchmark,
Yeah,
so you benchmark before the mood board creation. You benchmark,
yeah,
and then what do you do when imagine that you find maybe this can be helpful, this can be useful. So what do you
yeah.
do after that?
Well, when we have this mood board,
When the mood board is ready, okay, what do you
yeah,
do?
um, um, we presentation
We
uh,
present, we
with
present,
with
we
the
present the
client.
mood board to
Yeah,
who?
the show it show the ideas
Uh-huh.
we have, and if I client like,
Uh-huh.
uh, we proceed to the project
We
to make
proceed, we proceed to create the project.
the
If the
project.
client likes the project, we
Yeah,
proceed to create the project. Okay, so this is the process that you follow. And
yeah.
you just collaborate in the mood board creation, no more. You just collaborate with other
No,
designers
no, no,
with the
no.
mood board.
Well, this part is easier.
Okay.
And, um, after the client like
Approve, approves, approves,
approve, yeah,
approve the
approve
project.
the
What
project.
happens?
Well, I work in my part for for example, I am designer. I
Uh-huh.
work the graphic line, the project,
Okay.
and I send the files to
The assets, you send the assets.
I send the assets to the I don't know,
Editing
editor,
area, editing, or to the
the
editor, or the video editor, or the
or
graphic designer editor.
animator,
Ah, you
or
said, okay, okay.
yeah, or in this case, usually we working with photographer.
Mm-hmm. You work
Yeah,
with a photographer, you work with a photographer.
yeah. I need first these photos.
Uh-huh.
So
And
he
how do you share the information through Google Drive or through WhatsApp, or you
oh,
have maybe a special program to share information, like to share the assets? Because I know that when you share assets, sometimes they lose quality.
yeah,
You use a
no,
USB. How do you do it?
we, we use Google Drive. This is
Use Google
now
Drive.
it's a good software
Okay.
for operate.
For sharing documents. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Nice.
And,
Hmm.
and it's a good thing. Adobe Suite.
Okay.
Um, this software give us give us
Uh-huh. Give us.
give us into the software
Uh-huh.
that does um permissions for collaborate with with other people, with our design.
Ah,
And
so they can maybe with a link they you can work together in one project at the same time.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Ah, this is the way that you collaborate.
yeah.
Focus on this part. We use Adobe XD, for example, to share for wireframes and make comments on each other's work. That's a good answer too.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
team is responsible for different tasks, and we are constantly sharing our progress.
Yeah.
You are constantly sharing your progress. Now te voy a compartir tres verbos frasales o idioms que necesito que vayas aprendiendo. El primero es
Okay.
bring to the table. Bring to the table, que significa contribuir algo valioso, ¿ok? Por ejemplo, I bring to the table my skills in video editing. For example, you, Andrés, imagine that you want to work for my company. You bring to the table what?
I bring to the table um, with my
My,
experience in the
my experience in
experience in many softwares.
many software. Tú dices, Carlos, yo contribuyo con mi experiencia en muchos programas, ¿no? I bring to the table my experience in. So this is pretty cool, especially when you want to find a job or when you're talking to a client, you say, well, man, or sir, I bring to the table my skill in video editing, in graphic design, and experience of years, many years of experience. Number two, run through. Run through is quickly review or explain. I can run through the project file to check for errors. Run through es darle una revisada súper rápida o también podría ser explicar. Tú puedes darle una ojeada rápida al archivo del proyecto para revisar si hay algún error. Y por último tenemos finish or complete,
Rob,
que es el wrap up. Dice, oye,
Rob.
let's wrap up. Oye, terminemos o completemos la edición antes de el deadline. Antes
No.
del deadline. Did you understand?
Yeah, yeah. Rob.
Do you have any questions? No, right?
Mm.
Okay, next part. Remember,
No.
bring to the table, run through, and wrap up. How do you ensure the client maintains a consistent graphic line throughout the project? Throughout es como que a lo largo. ¿Cómo tú aseguras de que el cliente mantenga su consistencia en o una línea gráfica consistente a lo largo de su proyecto? How do you do that?
Mm, well, I think the best option in this case is send the assets, all the assets with
Mhm.
the new or the no new the graphic line because it's very important to the client um, consistent this graphic line with the social media with the other projects in all the assets based in the branding in the
Based on the branding part. Mhm.
yeah in the branding part.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, let's check the answer. It says, I make sure. ¿Qué significa make sure? Como que tú te
mm,
aseguras.
yeah.
You make sure. ¿Qué te aseguras? You make sure to use the brand guidelines in every design to maintain consistency. When I say brand guidelines, what do you understand when I say brand guidelines?
Mm, graphic lines
Oh,
or,
exactly. Maybe the font color, the color palette,
or
maybe the logo. You don't use a different logo, of course. It's obvious that you don't do that,
yeah,
right?
the scale of logo.
Mm-hmm. Now, I frequently reference previous project and use templates where necessary. You can say you frequently reference previous project. I mean, haces referencia a proyectos anteriores and use templates where necessary. So sometimes, Andres, that you are always creating maybe transitions. You are using, for example, animations. Do you reuse these transitions or animations, or you create a different one for every project you have?
No, I reuse the
You
different when I use the same project or other projects. I reuse the assets.
you reuse the assets, okay?
Yeah.
You reuse the assets or you reuse the transition. Remember the assets. It is like images. It is
Yeah.
it is pictures.
Uh,
I think that you reuse your maybe your what? You reuse your templates
the, templates or
or previous
yeah,
projects.
oh yeah, templates is correct because
Template.
in these templates um, have many transitions, have many visual effects or sound effects.
Yeah, sound effects. And also I remember when I was working with the graphic designer and he mentioned the use of mogarts. These
Mother, yeah.
are similar to templates and it says that you as a graphic designer or as an editor, you can buy them and you just edit and then reuse and reuse and reuse. Is that true? Are you a person who or are you a professional who use mogarts in Adobe
Uh,
Premiere or After Effects maybe? Or you
yeah,
prefer to create your own projects?
no, I use that.
Ah, you use Mogarts.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's a cool. Of course, you save time. You save time. Now let's continue. What steps do you take to guarantee that the client's branding is consistent across different platforms? That's a tricky question, especially, when you create a project for a client, remember that this project, the client has social media like TikTok, so or Facebook or Instagram. And you know that the sizes, los tamaños, the sizes are different. The logo can be seen in TikTok, but you can't see it on Facebook because it's pretty small. So
Mhm.
what steps do you take to guarantee the client's branding, you see?
Um, well, when I send the project
Mhm.
I send when the necessary sizes.
You send the necessary sizes. I mean, the client, they don't need to worry about that because you just send it.
Yeah, yeah.
You included this all the time, right? It's
I
part of
include
your,
it.
maybe it's part of your, I don't know. When you work, you include this in your job.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Obviously, the client asks me that. For example, the client send me the information I work with Instagram, with Facebook. No more. I sent
mhm.
the files with necessary sizes.
With the
Uh,
necessary sizes.
social media with this social media.
Okay, okay. So in this way, your work, your piece of artwork, work perfectly or appropriately. You see?
Yeah,
Recuerda que work es trabajar, pero piece of work es como tu trabajo. Me refiero a lo que has diseñado. Piece of work. So your piece of work works. Tu trabajo funciona apropiadamente. Appropriately. For
appropriate.
example, Andres, I use a color palette and fonts that are specified in the client's brand guidelines. You never change because they have a palette color and they have a font. So you just use it, right? And the second part I have here is I create style guides and share them with the team to ensure uniformity, especially when you collaborate with different designers.
Yeah.
And one more question, please. How do you communicate to the client the importance of maintaining a consistent graphic line?
Um,
How do you communicate? You say, no, 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 we can't do that because you need to maintain consistency.
um, we frequently
Mhm.
communicate to for WhatsApp. WhatsApp is I say is
No, no, no.
a
I mean that I know that you can communicate with a client through WhatsApp or through TikTok or through Facebook. I mean, you send messages or you can make a call, but how do you communicate in the class? For example, when I explain the class, how do I communicate important through examples? In this case, you
okay, okay.
explain, you explain. Look at the first one. Please read it.
I explain how
Consistency
consistency
strengthens
strengthens their brand identity and build trust.
and build trust. Imagine that you have, for example, a meme in a logo for a company, a business, for a bank. This is a piggy, a piggy. Un piggy es esos cerditos de alcancía. So imagine that you work for a bank and then you have a piggy as a logo.
No,
It doesn't build trust. For me, this is a joke. You're not
yeah.
working with a serious bank. So you
Okay.
explain you explain this to the client, or this is not part of
Yeah,
your job
yeah.
and you do it. You just do it.
No, no, no. I explained that this part.
This part to the
Um,
client.
well, um, how it's correct when I say how a designer o como diseñador.
As a designer. Recuerda que como diseñador puedes usarme un like a designer o un as a designer. ¿Cuál es la diferencia entre un like y un as? Por ejemplo, si a mí ahorita se me ocurre decir que yo diseño en Canva, diría que I work like a designer, como un diseñador, pero realmente no lo soy. Si yo realmente utilizo las herramientas apropiadas de un designer, diría que I work as a designer, que ese como significa en calidad de, o sea, que realmente lo eres.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so you say, as a designer, what do you do?
As a designer, um, asks to the client uh, many requirements.
Okay,
For
you ask.
example,
Okay,
for
when you say you
example,
ask, ¿tú le preguntas muchos requerimientos o les pides?
le pido.
Ya, recuerda que ask solito, mira, si tú tienes un ask, solito es preguntar. Si tú tienes
Okay.
si tú tienes un ask for es pedir. Pero si tú me pones un ask y luego le pones a una persona y yo ask Pepito, Tienes que poner, pedir a Pepito. I ask
Ah,
Pepito to send a file. I
okay.
ask Pepito to send a file. I ask for the file. Yo pido los archivos. Y el otro es I ask questions. Yo hago preguntas.
Okay, okay.
Okay, we're done, I guess. Listo. We're going to stop here. Andrés, el día de hoy te voy a habilitar. Más o menos ya se actualizó la plataforma. Se han habilitado
Yes,
los botones.
it's
Te
pretty
voy a
good.
habilitar todito lo que tiene que ver con diseño gráfico, temas como esto. Te voy a incluir una lista de palabras que yo necesito que vayas aprendiendo como import, palette color, assets, con definiciones que quiero que vayas chequeando para tu clase de mañana. Te voy a mandar un screenshot donde lo vas a poder encontrar y el código de acceso para todo lo que tiene que ver con diseño gráfico. ¿Ok?
Yeah,
Okay, so
perfect.
that would be all. Bye bye.
Thank
Take
you so
care.
much.
Bye
Bye. See
bye.
you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.